The female college student just stood in the vegetable garden and shouted, "How poor you are!" Unexpectedly, the next second he was knocked out by the flying gold bar. It turns out his vegetable garden is actually connected to the apocalypse of a parallel universe. No matter what you put in the vegetable garden will appear in a man's supernatural space. Not only can she provide men with daily necessities, men can also cast gold, silver, and jewels on her. But this poor college student still had no idea. I thought it was hallucinating from hunger after eating instant noodles for several days. However, when he turned around, he realized something was wrong. It was as if their own vegetable garden had been robbed. Not only were many vegetables eaten up, even the lingerie hanging on the string was gone. I'm already this poor and people still steal from me. Meanwhile, in a corner of the apocalypse, a man comes out to search for supplies. They ran into several zombies. Although he managed to escape, he was scratched himself. Unable to return to the base for treatment, he could only lean against the wall and wait for death. But unexpectedly, in his final moments, he suddenly awakened spatial abilities. Even more amazing, there was even a vegetable patch in the space. You have to know, in the apocalypse, supplies are worth more than gold. After 2.5 years of hunger, he grabbed the vegetable leaves and started gnawing on them. But unexpectedly, he got too excited and accidentally pulled at the wound. Fortunately, there was something like a bandage hanging from the vegetable string. So he tore off a white triangular cloth and wrapped it around his arm. He thought he could wrap some around his neck to ward off zombie bites. Then he pulled down a bowl-shaped bandage. Unexpectedly, an angry curse echoed from within the space. Who the hell stole my underwear? This made the man instantly understand. His ability space was connected to someone else's vegetable plot. She thought for a moment. He quickly pulled out several large gold chains. Right now, he's so broke that all he has left is gold. Although before the apocalypse was worth less than a leaf of gold. But having an exchange is still better than being a thief. Meanwhile, the girl also saw something shining on the ground. She approached and couldn't help but scream, "I'll take a bean. There really are gold bars falling from the sky. Am I dreaming? That's right. It's for you." The sudden voice startled Jong-ru. "Oh my god! Who are you?" In his panic, he quickly turned to look for him. But strangely, someone was clearly speaking. But no one could be seen. Jong-ru couldn't believe it. He rubbed his eyes hard, haunted in broad daylight. He forced himself to panic and stuffed the gold chain into his pocket. Now what? Hiring a master to perform the ritual is still the same as reporting the ditch. Before he could react, the boy suddenly rang out of thin air. "I'm sorry. I don't know why my space links to your vegetable garden. I haven't eaten for days, so I couldn't help but eat your food. This gold chain is the meal I paid for." The man's voice was hoarse but pleasant. This made Jong-ru, who was somewhat vocal, less afraid. "It's been a long time since I last ate. Are you Chichao?" The man looked down at his wolfish self. He was also surrounded by a strange scent. It's almost like a wild horse. He then recounted his own experience, and sincerely asked for forgiveness. But after hearing this, Jong-ru voiced doubts. "If it's not you eating my food, then forget it. What does stealing my underwear count as?" Lu Yuan looked at his arm, his face full of embarrassment. "That one. I accidentally got injured while killing zombies. So you made bandages from your clothes. Say so." Jong-ru wasn't as angry anymore. Unexpectedly, Lu Yuan's probing voice came from the next day. "How about we make a deal?" Jong-ru's eyes widened instantly upon hearing this. Could it be that this kid still wants my underwear? "I am a chaste college student. You can add money. I think you really like gold. No one wants that thing everywhere here. Can I trade gold for food with you?" Hearing about food, Jong-ru breathed a slight sigh of relief. But then he realized. Wait a minute. Gold for food. Jong-ru's lips instantly became harder to suppress than AK's. "You wait. I'll go get you something tasty right now." Her mom happened to be making rujiamo in the kitchen. Jong-ru grabbed 4 and ran outside. He also brought her a few bottles of mineral water. But when he came out, there was no response. "Hey, are you still there? That god of wealth." Jong-rui called out several times, but no one answered. Where did people go? That kid said his side was in the apocalypse. Could it have already been killed by zombies? Helpless, he could only put the items on the ground first. When returning to the room, I was still praying for him in my heart. My god of wealth must escape. Meanwhile, Lu Yuan was hiding in the corner with his shoulder in his hands. "Army Corps. I'm here." Not far away, Chun Yuan poked his head out of the car. Earlier, Lu Yuan had left to cover for his injury. He was not allowed to drive and lose firepower. Fortunately, in a critical moment, he awakened a healing ability. "Captain Lu, how are you?" Chun Yuan looked at Lu Yuan, who was resting with his eyes closed. "It's okay. I can't die yet." But immediately after, he was drawn to the bandage on Lu Yuan's hand. "Yo, brother Lu, I'm doing my best here to lure zombies for you. You even managed to find time to date a girlfriend. Is sister-in-law pretty? Cut the nonsense, it's not what you think. Lu Yuan instantly blushed and covered his arm. I'm sorry yet. Look how red your face is. You guys really played wildly. Chun Yuan laughed so hard his mouth reached the back of his ear. But he didn't ask further. After all, Lu Yuan was once a king of soldiers. It's perfectly normal for some young girls to like it. He then used his supernatural abilities to heal Lu Yuan's injuries. Half an hour later, Chun Yuan collapsed to the ground, utterly exhausted. Because there was no water to drink for a long time. The corners of her mouth were cracked and even bleeding. Seeing this, Lu Yuan quickly opened the space. He wanted to pick up a few vegetable leaves to quench Chun Yuan's thirst. But to his shock, he discovered there were actually several bottles of mineral water in the space. Even more outrageous, there are 4 rujiamo, meat sandwiches. This really saved their lives. It must have been given by that girl just now. Lu Yuan didn't have time to express his gratitude. He hurriedly turned on the water level and brought it to Chun Yuan's mouth. Chun Yuan had long been desperate. The sudden arrival of sweet dew made him feel very refreshed. Took him a moment to react. This is clean water without contamination. Where did you get it? Chun Yuan looked at Lu Yuan in disbelief. It's hard to explain in just one sentence or two. But one thing is certain. From now on, we will never lack food and water. A hint of amusement flashed in Lu Yuan's eyes. Hearing this, Chun Yuan's eyes immediately lit up. If someone else says this, he must have thought the other party was crazy. But Lu Yuan said there was. Then there will definitely be. Meanwhile, Zhang Ru saw the missing rujiamo and bottled water. He secretly breathed a sigh of relief. It seems his god of wealth is currently safe. I just don't know what else the other party needs. After all, the other party had just given 3 large gold chains. At that moment, the sound of her mother crying came from inside the room. Her father had been paralyzed for years and bedridden. My mother also had no income because she couldn't find a job. I originally thought the baba mandarin harvest would be good this year. If you can sell it, you can get some money to fill your household expenses. Unfortunately, unscrupulous merchants couldn't fetch the price at all. Zhang Ru held her mother's hand. Mom, don't worry. I found a way to sell. It will definitely sell for a good price. Babagan is also a rare item in the apocalypse. If his god of wealth knew, he might have been very happy. Hearing this, Zhang's mother immediately dissipated her sorrow. This child really has grown up. Zhang's father, however, was sadly shedding tears. It's my dad who didn't use and dragged you two down. Zhang Ru looked at the hospital bed, her eyes welling up. Father, it's okay. A family should look out for each other. You should focus on rehabilitation. We'll definitely get better. Hearing this, Zhang's father was both moved and heartbroken. Spent so much money but still couldn't cure it. It even caused our family to suffer a mess. Famine should not be wasted on the end. Zhang Ru gripped her father's hand tightly. You don't have to worry about money. Your health is more important than anything else. Now, with the god of wealth, it will definitely make this family better. Meanwhile, Lu Yuan had just finished dealing with 2 zombies. He held a level 6 crystal core that had just dropped. He and Chun Yuan hid in the abandoned building to absorb energy. As the space recharges, he could clearly feel that the vegetables inside had grown quite a bit. It seems that crystal cores can help raise spatial levels. Once the gold and energy were absorbed,
陆远从丧尸蚕上撸下一枚金戒指。
Why are you using this junk? Can't be eaten and takes up space. Chun Yuan looked at him with a puzzled expression. Lu Yuan said nothing. Instead, he turned and went straight into the house in front of him. Chun Yuan followed behind him, puzzled. Why are you weird today? What exactly are they looking for? Lu Yuan smiled mysteriously. Of course, it's about finding something valuable. Something valuable. Chun Yuan looked at him, not understanding. This is going to starve to death. What's the use of money anyway? Water and food are the real hard currencies. And also, before he could continue complaining, Lu Yuan stuffed a rujiamo straight into his mouth. This is. Smelling the meat, Chun Yuan was almost in tears. While chewing heartily, tears of excitement flowed down. Brother Lu, unrighteous father, you will be my father in the future. He no longer remembered how many years ago he last ate meat. But soon, as if he remembered something, she looked at Lu Yuan with curiosity. Where did you get this rujiamo from? He exchanged a few gold chains. Lu Yuan glanced at him with disdain. They were shouting chaotically. From now on, you won't have a chance. Okay, brother. Chun Yuan continued munching on the bun, no longer asking around. Anyway, as long as they follow Lu Yuan, they can eat whatever they want. Later, when passing by the house, Lu Yuan didn't even need to say anything. Chun Yuan grabbed a sack and hurried inside. Sure enough, the hard work pays off. He soon found himself in a safe and found quite a few pieces of gold jewelry. Brother Lu, can I exchange these for another Rujiamo? Lu Yuan didn't waste words. He just tossed a Rujiamo straight to him. Good brother. Chun Yuan held the Rujiamo but couldn't bear to eat it. Just smelling it reminded him of his mother's scent. But at that moment Lu Yuan sensed something was wrong. It seemed there were various noises outside the apartment. In the panic, he quickly looked out the window. Sure enough, large groups of zombies were gathering at every intersection. Could it be that the aroma of meat is attracting you? Without another word, Lu Yuan raised his knife and slashed. But this time the number of zombies was enormous. Soon the two of them were completely surrounded. Army Corps, if I die, please help me take care of my wife and son. Chun Yuan looked at Lu Yuan with a face full of despair. What the hell are you talking about? Lu Yuan's gaze darkened. He shook the blood off his blade. You go first. I'll cover you. As he spoke, he tossed the bag containing Rujiamo and water to Chun Yuan. Then strike the blade and run in the opposite direction. You must get out. I'm still waiting to eat your Rujiamo. Chun Yuan watched his back. Tears of despair. Lu Yuan had barely escaped when he was surrounded by a horde of zombies. No matter how strong he is alone, it is also difficult to defeat four hands with two fists. Zombies around him were gradually attacking him. With a firm heart, he immediately pulled out an iron tube bomb from his waist. Chun Yuan gang hadn't gone far. Suddenly, a loud boom was heard behind him, seeing the severed limbs flying in the air. His eyes instantly widened as if they were about to burst. Army Corps. Meanwhile, Zhang Ru also received the gold jewelry that had been delivered. Not sure if it was just his imagination. Ever since the vegetable garden became someone else's space, he felt the vegetables inside growing rapidly. But right now, he didn't have time for those things. After all, no matter how well the vegetables grow, it's not worth a few dollars. He excitedly took the jewelry and left the room, looking at the heavy bag beneath his feet. He couldn't be happier riding his little electric scooter. After entering the city, he headed straight to the largest gold store in the mall. After exchanging, Zhang Ru looked at the balance and felt extremely excited. I was planning to buy something for my parents first. But at that moment the phone sounded a camera alarm. Someone broke into his vegetable patch. How did he have to install cameras on that treasured land? I didn't expect it to come in handy today. But the door to the vegetable garden in the backyard. He clearly locked it. Unable to figure it out, he didn't bother to wander around. I bought a few roast chickens on the way and rushed home. After arriving home, he first placed both on the table. Then he took the rest and ran toward the backyard. But when they arrived at the vegetable garden, there was no one there. Not right. His phone clearly received a camera alarm. Just as he was about to take out his phone to check the replay video, but from the front room came a burst of angry cursing. Dead girl. Where did you go? Zhang Ru placed the roast chicken in the vegetable garden. He turned and walked toward the front room. Zhang's mom also came back from working outside. She happened to run into Granny Zhang, who had come looking for trouble. Mother, what's wrong with you again? Old Zhang shot him an annoyed look. What about the roast chicken your daughter bought? His second uncle's family hadn't eaten yet. I happened to bring it to them. Zhang Ru happened to hear this as she entered. He hasn't eaten at home. What does it have to do with me and my mom? If they want to eat it, they buy it themselves. I bought the roast chicken for my parents. Why are you getting more and more immature as you grow up? Skipping 2 bites won't kill you. My cousin is half a year younger than you. You are the sister. What's wrong with letting him eat? Granny Zhang spoke with confidence. Zhang Ru couldn't be bothered to waste words with her. From the moment she gave birth to her granddaughter, Grandma never showed their family any kindness. Zhang's father became even more extreme after being paralyzed. If there's any food, I'll take it to my second uncle's house. He said that whatever happened, he had to take care of his eldest grandson first. Over the years, she and her mother had bullied them quite a bit. Zhang Ru no longer wanted to indulge her anymore. She picked up 2 roast chickens and handed them to Zhang's mom. Mother, the chicken is still warm. Hurry up and take the house to eat with my dad. Zhang Ma took the roast chicken and headed inside. Before leaving, he even told Zhang Ru to hurry inside. If she said too much, the old woman would start throwing a tantrum and rolling on the ground again. Good. Mom, don't worry. I'm grown up now. I can protect you and Dad. Finished. Zhang Ru looked at old lady Zhang with a dark gaze. Didn't you say you wouldn't die if you skipped a couple of bites? I won't keep you for dinner. You're so sensible. You shouldn't be angry. It's the opposite of you. Little girl film. I think you've really grown up with skills. Zhang Posi's face instantly flushed with anger. As soon as he fell to the ground, he started throwing a tantrum and rolling around. Come and see. This little girl film. Hit her grandma. Zhang Ru couldn't be bothered to respond to him. He turned and went inside. closing the door. You can play by yourself. I'm not buying that anymore. Meanwhile, Lu Yuan woke up in the vegetable garden. The situation was urgent just now. He could only try to enter space 1 second before the explosion. Unexpectedly, it actually succeeded. Looking at the unripe tomatoes. Just as I was about to pick a few to taste. You can touch the fruit with your finger. A mysterious force transmitted through his body again. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of the previous apartment building. It seemed he couldn't enter the space for much longer now. You can only collect more crystal cores to upgrade your space first. But right now, what he worried about most was still his sister Xiaoxue. With that thought, she headed toward the base. There weren't many zombies along the way. While dealing with them, he also obtained 2 billion level crystal cores. After absorbing it, I wanted to get a few vegetable leaves to stave off hunger. But when he opened the space, a scent of meat wafted out. This moved even the cold Lu Yuan. He hadn't eaten barbecue in too long. This made many plants and animals inedible. To survive, she had eaten carrion, gnawed on rotten vegetable leaves. But now, because of a girl he had never met, not only did she eat rujiamo and the fragrant roast chicken, was the other party a fairy sent by heaven to save her? Lu Yuan instantly stood up. She wanted her sister to try these delicious foods too. Meanwhile, inside a mysterious base, a little girl of 5 or 6 shrank back nervously. His eyes trembled as he stared ahead. Suddenly someone barged in. How dare they secretly hoard food? Who gave you the guts? A scar-faced man was glaring at her menacingly. Although the little girl was seriously injured, yet he still held the bag tightly in his arms. This was something he wanted to save for his brother. It must never be snatched away by bad people. Still unwilling to hand it over. Huh? Just wait and see, I won't wash you. Just as he was about to lay a hand on the girl, Chun Yuan barged in instantly. Wang Mang, you are looking for death. Chun Yuan helped the little girl on the ground up. Light Snow, are you okay? The girl shook her head. A pair of fearful eyes filled with tears. Brother Chun Yuan, this bad guy wants to snatch what you gave me. Chun Yuan listened intently. He immediately raised his knife and pointed it at the scar-faced man. Wang Mang, the base has long been set in mind. Looting is prohibited. Besides, she was Lu Ji's younger sister. Do you want to die? Screw the rules. I'm starving to death. What's the point of sticking to breaking the rules? This dead girl today. Or hand over the food. I will kill him. Don't you dare. Army captain won't let you off when he returns. If you kowtow and apologize now, you might even spare your life. Chun Yuan glared angrily at the scar-faced man. Apologize. I'm afraid he's already lost his body by now. A strange smile appeared at the corner of Wang Mang's mouth. I've long disliked him. It's the apocalypse. Who cares about whom? The commotion drew the attention of others in the base. A thin man stepped forward. I think Brother Wang is right. If people do not act for themselves, may heaven and earth destroy them. Let alone snatching food. If you push me too hard, I'll eat people too. As he spoke, the man gave the little girl a wicked smile. There were already some restless people in the base. Hearing this, like a shark sniffing blood, greedily followed behind Wang Mang, waiting to make a move. Chun Yuan gritted his teeth and looked at everyone. He couldn't help but step in front of Xiaoxue. But with Wang Mang's grand gesture, the people behind him looked like bloodthirsty beasts. They all lunged at Chun Yuan. He pinned him firmly to the ground. Wang Mang then swept past the group and walked forward. With a wicked grin, he grabbed Xiaoxue with a single grab. Xiaoxue's terrified eyes filled with tears, gripping the package tightly with both hands, constantly moving backward. Ultimately, after fear oppresses the heart, he shouted loudly, Brother! Moments of crisis. A flying knife tore through the air. Wang Mang didn't have time to react. His entire arm was already nailed to the wall. You are not dead. His pupils contracted as he stared at the person before him. But soon, he revealed another cold smile. Lu Yuan, no matter how strong you were before, what difference does it make? I'm already an awakened ability user. As he spoke, he raised his arm, ready to attack. Who would have thought, in the blink of an eye, Lu Yuan drew his sword and pressed it against his throat. Lu Yuandan had not awakened any offensive abilities. But his body was far beyond that of ordinary ability users. How did you? You can't kill me. Don't forget the base's rules. Sure enough, upon hearing this, Lu Yuan sheathed his blade and turned around. Truly, he was Lu Yuan. And how could they break the rules of safeguarding peace? However, just as a smile appeared at the corner of Wang Mang's mouth, a flash of the blade suddenly sliced through her throat. But my sister is above the rules. A flash of killing intent passed through Lu Yuan's eyes. Meanwhile, those who had just supported Wang Mang also quieted down. From now on, who dares to break the rules again? This is what happened to him. Lu Yuan pointed his knife at Wang Mang lying on the ground. His cold gaze swept over everyone. Elder brother. You're finally back. Xiaoxue instantly threw herself into Lu Yuan's arms. Lu Yuan stroked her head, his eyes full of indulgence. Light Snow. It's my brother who is not good. From now on, your brother will never leave you alone again. Chen Yuan, who had just stood up, also punched Lu Yuan in the shoulder. Army Corps. I thought I would never see you again. As she spoke, she even wiped away her tears in excitement. Unexpectedly, Lu Yuan kicked him right in the butt. This is how you protect my sister. I think you want Rujiamo, don't you? As he spoke, he handed a roast chicken to Chen Yuan. Actually, Lu Yuan knew too, although this kid seemed unreliable on the surface. But at critical moments, he would definitely risk his life to protect Xiaoxue. Then he gave Xiaoxue another one. Xiaoxue, eat up. I held it in my arms, still warm. Seeing Lu Yuan take out the roast chicken, everyone's eyes nearly popped out. It's roast chicken. Captain Lu, what are you doing? Lu Yuan didn't waste words. If you want food, you have to trade it for gold. Gold. Everyone widened their eyes in disbelief. She looked at him in disbelief. What use is that thing? In the apocalypse, you're not as good as a dog by the roadside. You wouldn't be lying to us. See the situation. Lu Yuan directly took out 3 roast chickens. Those who want meat take gold. First come, first served. In an instant, the base erupted in chaos. One by one, they ran back like madmen, afraid that, if they arrived late, they wouldn't even get a chicken seat. After a while, in front of Lu Yuan was a pile of all kinds of gold. After replacing the roast chicken, she took out some vegetables from her space. At this moment, Xiaoxue was eagerly grabbing her hand. Brother, you shared all your food with others. You haven't eaten yet. Saying this, tears of heartache almost fell from her eyes. Lu Yuan smiled faintly. He quietly leaned close to Xiaoxue's ear. Xiaoxue is good. Brother, there's more. From now on, we will never go hungry again. Then she carried Xiaoxue back to her residence. But as soon as they entered the house, she immediately sensed something was wrong. At this moment, Xiaoxue had already fallen into a coma. He placed his hand on Xiaoxue's forehead and tried it. So hot. Lu Yuan's first reaction was to go to the base to find Chen Yuan. But what a coincidence. He happened to be out on a mission. What if the base doesn't have medicine right now? Lu Yuan was instantly filled with anxiety. Meanwhile, Zhang Ru opened the video replay. A handsome man suddenly appeared in the vegetable garden. Zhang Ru immediately reacted. This is his god of wealth. He remembered Lu Yuan saying he was still short on water and food. Zhang Ru turned and dragged out a basket of dried rice from the room. But when he came back again, he was stunned. Suddenly, a pile of gold appeared in the vegetable garden. I'm rich. She quickly dumped Babagan on the ground. Then put the gold into the basket. After returning to the room, he quietly stuffed everything under the bed. Is this what it feels like to get rich overnight? Moment. She felt her back straighten quite a bit. Then he wiped off the sweat from his hard work, getting ready to go downstairs to move the Babagan. After all, this time the god of wealth also gave so much gold. What right does he have not to work hard? After pulling several baskets, he felt like his waist was about to break. He casually picked a cucumber. He planned to replenish his energy first. But after a few bites, the fatigue instantly disappeared. He quickly came up with a bold idea. He grabbed half a brick from the ground. He squeezed hard. In an instant, the brick shattered into pieces in his hand. I'll take a bean. He tried other things several times in a row. Sure enough, it can easily crush every time. Is this the magic of space? Ha ha ha, he couldn't help but burst out laughing. But unexpectedly, Lu Yuan's voice suddenly came through. Are you okay over there? Hearing this, Zhang Ru quickly stopped laughing. It's okay. I'm doing very well now. Lu Yuan also saw the dry rice in the vegetable garden. However, he couldn't get excited at all. He was more worried about his sister than about eating now. That one. Do you have medicine there? My sister has a fever. I don't think my family has any. Don't worry. I'll help you buy it right now. Finished. Zhang Ru turned and ran outside. But unexpectedly, he accidentally fell flat on his horse. In an instant, a large crater was smashed beneath his body. I'll go. I just ate a cucumber. How did it feel like a Mars crashing into Earth? But strangely, she didn't feel any pain at all. But he didn't have time to think about that now. He watched Zhang Ru leave behind a human-shaped deep pit. Lu Yuan seemed to instantly understand something. The vegetables in his space seemed to have some kind of buff. Even someone like Zhang Ru, who hasn't been ignored by the magnetic field's radiation, he could still gain powers through the vegetables he had catalyzed. Half an hour later, Zhang Ru rushed into the vegetable garden carrying a sack. That one. I bought all the fever medicine from the pharmacy. You can save what you can't use. As he spoke, he tossed the sack into the vegetable patch. Soon after Xiaoxue took her medicine, the body temperature returns to normal. This finally put Lu Yuan's anxious heart at ease. Thinking about how Chun Yuan had been out for so long and hadn't returned, he asked Chun Yuan's wife Yajing to help take care of Xiaoxue first. Chun Yuan has been searching for his twin sister. This trip was also because he received news about his sister. After a while, she arrived at the neighboring base where Chun Yuan was. But when he arrived, the base has been severely damaged. Inside, it was filled with charred zombie corpses. Seeing Chun Yuan teaming up with a girl to fight against the zombie horde, he immediately drew his sword and rushed forward to help. Army Corps, there you are. Seeing Lu Yuan, Chun Yuan felt reassured. Soon, the group joined forces to wipe out all the zombies. Hello. My name is Chun Yingying. Lu Yuan glanced at the charred zombie and nodded slightly. You have awakened your abilities too. Yes. Mine is a fire ability. Chun Yuan leaned over Lu Yuan's shoulder. How about Army Captain? My sister is amazing, right? As he spoke, he reached out his hand. He looked at Lu Yuan with a big smile. After hitting for so long, my adoptive father felt a bit awkward. Do you have anything to quench your thirst? Lu Yuan took out 2 babagan from his bag. Saw it was babagan. Chun Yingying's mouth dropped open in shock. This is... He couldn't help but swallow hard. The eyes are full of longing. Chun Yuan handed a babagan to Chun Yingying. Then I eagerly peeled them and started eating. Chun Yingying couldn't even hold on. Open it right away and you'll take a big mouthful of the sky. How could there be such delicious fruit? Such things had never been seen in the apocalypse. Where did he get it? Meanwhile, Zhang returned to her room and locked the door behind her back. Lifting the bedsheet, a large basket full of gold was found. Get rich, get rich. But he didn't stay intoxicated for long. Only now could she feel at ease if she had to exchange it for money. After all, it was placed under the bed. There are always times when she's absent. If Zhang Posey and the others found out, it would be a real problem. Soon, he packed the gold into several books. This time, he visited more than a dozen large gold shops in a row. After all, so many shots at once. It inevitably draws attention. But looking at the millions added to the card, he fell into deep thought. After all, their family was just an ordinary poor household. Want to use this huge sum with peace of mind. He must have a reason to make big money. That's right. Live streaming and doing self-media. This era. Self-media is the fastest way for ordinary people to turn things around. You can buy a naval force with money. First, give yourself a big internet celebrity persona. Thinking of this, Zhang suddenly felt a bright future ahead. But the most important thing at the moment. Better to give the god of wealth a batch of supplies first. After all, only by being willing to invest can you achieve high returns. He then went from one major supermarket to another to start shopping. Seeing that he bought a lot, supermarkets also deliver to your door. Out of the supermarket, he purchased a large batch of seeds. Nowadays, the vegetables in the garden are growing rapidly. Although ripe fruits and vegetables can also be bought outside. But the space that grew seemed a bit different. Meanwhile, Lu Yuan also saw the supplies continuously being released inside the space. I'll go. The little fairy had gone to book him out for a whole place. There were so many of these things that she could open a fat feast in the apocalypse. Seeing how good Zhang was to her, she secretly made up her mind. He must work harder himself. Give the little fairy more gold in the apocalypse. Subsequently, she brought Chun Yuan and Chun Yingying with her. There were also several strong members from the base. He kept moving from one to another nearby district to seek gold. It seems there's nothing valuable here. Chun Yuan looked disappointed. At that moment, someone suddenly shouted. There seems to be a museum over there in the Army Corps. Shall we go take a look? Museum. Inside are all precious antiques and cultural relics. Chun Yuan listened intently. His eyes immediately lit up. Walk. Go check it out. Chun Yuan was the first to rush over, carrying the sack. The museum's items are still relatively well preserved. Even the glass cover outside was perfectly intact. Be careful when moving things. Don't break it. Chun Yuan led the way in having everyone bring out the items. Then he tidied up and placed it in the open space of the hall. Let's go. After moving the things, Chun Yuan called everyone to leave. At that moment, Lu Yuan threw him a package. Oh my god. Steamed bread. Looking at the contents of the package, Chun Yuan was startled. He almost forgot what this thing tasted like. Then he led his men out. Distribute the steamed buns to everyone. Lu Yuan said he still needed to find something. So I was left inside. After receiving the steamed buns, everyone felt as if they had found a treasure. Each bite takes several minutes to savor. Even Chun Yingying ate with utter infatuation. After a while, Lu Yuan came out of the museum. Chun Yuan cooperatively spoke to him. Is there still food in the queue? A long road with space. Can't let others know. So the origin of the food must be discreet. Lu Yuan also played along and smiled at him. And also, I'll take you inside. Just now, he had already hidden quite a few supplies in a corner. Everyone entered. Sure enough, he found something behind a display case. Oh my god. I'm not dreaming. There was actually so much food here. This is great. Everyone's faces were filled with joyful smiles. For a moment, even Chen Yingying couldn't help but shout out loud. The object was discovered by Lu Yuan. So naturally, how the distribution is decided by him. He opened several bags and distributed them evenly among everyone. After returning to the base, everyone started cheering. Whether it's steamed buns or scallion pancakes, everyone got one. Chen Yuan was gnawing on the meat bun, feeling quite pleased inside. But when she turned around, she found Lu Yuan eating instant noodles. Still the classic braised beef flavor. What shocked him even more was, it was also served with braised egg and sausage. No way. Instant noodles. Chen Yuan shouted excitedly. Why do you have hot instant noodles? Chen Yuan immediately felt that the meat bun in his hand was no longer tasty. He looked longingly at Lu Yuan's bowl of instant noodles. He instinctively swallowed hard. Honestly, was it the little kitchen your sister-in-law hiding in the space was running? What sister-in-law? Don't talk nonsense, kid. Thinking of Zhang Ru's figure, Lu Yuan blushed deeply. But Chen Yuan was not buying it. Still refusing to admit it. The brothers had all seen that girl's underwear. He hadn't finished speaking yet. Lu Yuan shoved instant noodles straight into his mouth with a fork. Eat, eat. I'm afraid of you. Good. Adoptive father. My adoptive father is still the best. You can get instant noodles as rare as this. Seeing his eating habits, Lu Yuan shook his head. He took out a can of milk powder and handed it to Chen Yuan. Take it back for Xiaohu to drink. I read that right. Chen Yuan was so excited that his hands were trembling. His son, Xiaohu, was a child with a hard life. At just over a year old, he caught up in the apocalypse. He endured a lot of hardships alongside them. Now she is 2.5 years old. Still skinny and small. Unable to take good care of their own child. It has always been his concern. Chen Yuan gripped Lu Yuan's hand tightly. Brothers. Thank you very much. Lu Yuan patted his shoulder. Don't worry. It will get better and better in the future. But they never imagined. At this moment, Chen Yingying was secretly hiding in the shadows, watching from the shadows. Her hands trembled with excitement. No wonder Lu Yuan was able to find so many supplies. It turned out she had awakened a supernatural space. If she could tame this man, then wouldn't he never have to worry about food or drink in this lifetime? Zhang Ru also saw antiques and artifacts in the vegetable garden. This shocked him so much that his eyes nearly popped out. Tang Dynasty Sankai tomb horn. 9-pattern glazed bricks. Aren't these items housed in the British Museum? He was fortunate enough to visit once when he was in college. At the time, I was still thinking about it. How wonderful it would be if he could bring these national treasures back to his homeland. Who would have thought that now they would all appear here? Such a precious cultural relic is like this. He must return the country. But thinking of this, he was troubled again. If someone asks about the source, how to explain it? But soon, a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. The next morning, he came to a wasteland. This was the vegetable plot his father had contracted when he was young. But later, he became paralyzed and bedridden, neglecting his duties ever since. The next day, Zhang Ru was leaning back on the sofa watching TV. Suddenly, a news report came through. Big news. I am a little girl. When digging in the fields, unexpectedly, several top-tier artifacts were unearthed. Meanwhile, Professor Su and 3 experts have just returned from Britain. Get out of the car. They then shouted angrily at him. A group of shameless bandits. Professor Su's voice was old and powerful. The Nushi 2 is originally a cultural relic of our country. Now, when people come to borrow ancestral relics for a look, they actually refused to lend money. How can this really be true? Suddenly, a shout came from the museum entrance. Professor Su, you can count back. Director Tang saw the group hurriedly running out of the hall. Something big has happened at the mansion. Something happened. Professor Su and the others were startled. Good things are good things. Someone donated several precious artifacts to us. Several senior professors immediately broke into joyful smiles. Professor Su also wore a look of joy. He picked up his thermos and took a sip. He asked casually, "What kind of artifacts are these?" Portrait of the female historian. Tang Dynasty Sankai tombs have long been patterned. Burst. Director Tang hadn't finished speaking. Professor Su spat out a mouthful of tea. What? He coughed twice. He then glared at Director Tang. You're also the old manager of the museum. How could something like this be fooled? The other professors also found it amusing. That lady's real portrait was just here when we were still there. I've seen it in the British Museum. That's right. Who dares to come to the City Museum to scam them? Several experts said this. Director Tang was also a bit uncertain. But I don't think those artifacts are fake. He spent most of his life in the museum. If it were fake, he could tell at a glance. Okay, take us to see. To be so distinctive as the real thing. Professor Su was actually interested. However, as soon as he got closer, he didn't take a closer look. A professor sneered. Sure enough, they were here to scam people. Even the aged versions are exactly the same. Professor Su also frowned and stepped forward. Old Tang, I think you're getting older and getting older. Wait a minute. At that moment, he couldn't help but push up his reading glasses. As he bent over, his pupils instantly dilated. Quick, magnifying glass. When he looked up again, her face flushed red. That's right, that's right. Professor Su's tears of excitement welled up in his eyes. The colors are vivid and lively. His hair was smooth and radiant. This is exactly the real picture of the female historian. What? Professor Su, you really think that's true? A few elderly professors who had previously been unconcerned. He immediately stepped forward as well. Picking up the magnifying glass, his eyes widened like copper bells. Yes, that's right. It turned out to be a real female historian's painting. Several professors looked almost crazed. Subsequently, they also examined several other artifacts. A sudden mental shock. They all collapsed onto the sofa. But soon, a question arose in everyone's minds. If these artifacts before them were real, those displayed in the British Museum,